Right on.
Hey everybody, aloha. Michelle Malin, this is
Aloha.
Blossom Inner Wellness and Stand Together Hawaii. Look who I have with me.
How's it going, everybody?
This is BJ Penn. He's an American former pro mixed martial art fighter, 5th degree black belt, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, and he was the first non-Brazilian to win World Jiu-Jitsu Championship at a black belt level.
Yes.
And what is super awesome is that he also ran for governor last year. And in my personal opinion, I think he won. I think the whole thing is rigged because there's no way that we got this guy in there. But anyway, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you very much.
This is okay. So this is about the Maui fires. Have you been to Lahaina? You've been over there and seen them?
Yes, I have.
And what was your experience over there?
Yep, they're really affected. There's a lot of people that they got nothing. They're on the side of the road. One day they were in a house and, with all of their stuff, and now they got nothing. And they're just, even because their jobs got burnt down, it's that kind of thing.
What, so have you seen, like, what is your thoughts of the governor's response to the fires? I mean, his first statement was, "I'm looking for ways for the state to acquire the land for workforce housing." Those were his first words on it, like one of the first interviews after the fire. How do you feel about his response?
Yeah. Well, if workforce housing was mansions, you know what I mean, $1 million mansions for the guys, then I could say, okay, let's see some workforce housing. But it depends on what he's talking about. I mean, we all really don't know. Everybody's kind of nervous. I saw the different things that even Hilo was one of the lucky counties that could get some workforce housing type things, or whatever, those ICEI cities or whatever. But it makes me wonder. I'm like, so who's going to police the thing? Is it going to be us, or is it going to be the UN? Because those are the UN cities, right? And they have them all around. And it's a crazy time. But as for with Lahaina and everything going with Lahaina, it's just, I mean, I don't know what to do with Lahaina. I mean, the only people who know what to do are the people who are there. That's the only people who know, but you would have, whatever there is now, you try to solve the problem as quick as you can, like one of your kids are hurt, or the baby's hurt, and you want to sue them, right?
Yeah.
So, but they're doing the exact opposite, I guess. Or I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, well, first, the governor, when he goes in, and the first thing he says is, "I'm looking for ways for the state to acquire the land." I mean, this is Hawaii, and this land is already occupied by the United States corporation. And so it's when he said that, my heart was like, oh my God, you cannot tell that these people who just lost everything, that you're going to try to take the land that has been ancestral, theirs for ancestry for hundreds of years, if not thousands of years. You can't do that. You can't tell people that. So are you aware of Agenda 2030 with the sustainable development?
Well, I've heard about that sustainable stuff, and I guess like what you were talking about, we're just gonna have to start looking at Josh Green, and of course Joe Biden. I mean, we saw his resume up till today, and we gotta have to look at Josh Green, and we're gonna have to think that this is an agent. He's not the governor. He's an agent for what's going on. He's not gonna go and talk to Biden for any help or anything. He's gonna just try to do the bare minimum so he doesn't get in trouble, because you're accountable for what you do and what you didn't do when you're in there, right? So he's just gonna, whatever he can do, I believe it is, maybe he can prove us wrong. Hopefully he proves us wrong. But I believe he's just an agent for these things. He was just at the UN, and so was our mayor, was just up there. And it's just one of those, it's terrible.
Yeah, well, the UN is the United Nations. They're not elected officials. They're put in. They put themselves together, and now they're making decisions for the world without being elected officials, and they're putting in plans. And this plan of sustainable living, sustainable planning, and development is actually, a lot of it is good, designed to take away so many of our freedoms, to take the land from the people, to take our rights away from us and stick us in these. I'm going to show you in another video what there's, I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
it.
the workforce.
The workforce housing,
I-
the city,
you-
they're 20 minutes.
So if everybody can remember what the WHO was going to do, they were going to be able to call pandemics, and they're trying to get this power. That's exactly what the UN is. It's the same thing. The WHO is probably a part. I'm sure they're a part of the same thing. And they go around to different countries and they put their agents in, like these guys we got here. We got Mitch Roth. And I never thought I would have said that. Mitch Roth campaigned in my house. I've known him since he was a head prosecutor. But I guess this is a long plan. It wasn't decided over one night.
No, and
These people moved here for this job. They're not wasting any time. They know, whether Josh Green went senator or whatever, and whether Mitch Roth worked his way up as a prosecutor, wherever they are now, this was their plan, and they're not gonna stop. It's just gonna be an onslaught, nonstop of the next to the next. So just want to let everybody know, we all gotta figure out how to get together, because the key is to be able to get together and mobilize couple 100,000 at a time, and then it's done. Then every problem we have is done. We get together and we mobilize couple 100,000 at a time. That's it. That's the game plan.
Yes. Yeah. And were Honolulu? Because one, they took the first meeting for the Maui community in the housing. They took the first meeting to Oahu. So many of the Maui people couldn't even go there because they didn't have anything, let alone getting on a plane to try to fly to Oahu to give their testimony. And then Governor Green walked out of the meeting before anybody even gave a testimony. And you gave a testimony, which I loved. Yeah. It said one of the last things you said, or the one of the last things you said was, "Aloha is the law. Aloha is the law."
Well, because it's the real law, and you're in there, you're talking to a judge, or they're talking to a police officer or something, and everybody's all good people, and it's just when one time I was a kid and I was in this court case with the police officer, and when I ended up not getting in trouble, and the prosecutor and the police officer said, "We're gonna get together and we're gonna change this and we're gonna come back after you." He walked out and I just showed him shaka like this, and then just done. Because it's everybody, that's what life's about. It's about just being nice to people, and and everybody, feel it. And this is when I was 16, because we got a license early, or at 15 I got my license, and that was when I was 16 years old that happened. So
that's awesome.
So I see him around all the time, and he always takes care of me.
That's fantastic. So when you were at the Lahaina fires, what did it look like, a natural fire to you? What did you feel about the fire? You think it was a natural fire?
Well, I do wonder the different things about, I wonder, like, you hear the fire went and then they went and put it out, because then I hear some people that I do trust and stuff, and then they say, "Oh, it happened behind the house," or so I don't know. What's your opinion?
Oh my gosh, I've interviewed a 48-year arborist.
Oh, I saw that video. Yeah. Okay. Oh, right on. Okay.
Yeah, and then
so what did he say exactly with everything?
He said this is microwave energy, that the fire could not burn organic material like trees. Yeah. The reason why the trees were not just when a wildfire happens, it's just regular black sticks. There's no foliage, there's no tree, there's no leaves, nothing. And he said, but in this fire, there's always trees. The trees don't burn. He said the only way that's possible is a microwave energy, that a microwave energy would actually melt the glass. A wildfire doesn't melt glass on the cars. It doesn't get hot enough.
Right, it was really melted.
Yeah, but the trees are still there. So what happens is the trees burn from the inside, because it actually burns the water. It's cooking the water from the tree from the inside. That's why the tree still stays. But it also, what he said is that this was crazy, that the actual chemistry of the fire doesn't recognize the chemistry of the organic material. So that's why it doesn't register that it's actually something to burn unless it's super close to the house. It has to be like within 10 to 15 feet of the house.
Interesting, huh? Yeah.
So, and then another fire captain, 33-year fire captain, saying the same thing, that this is just not, in fact, have you seen the charred bodies or the charred dog? Okay, this dog is literally laying on its back with its legs straight, and it's got hair on it still, but it's dead. And he said, and the fire captain today on this interview that I just did, he said the only way that would happen is that's not the way it would burn. It would be ash, and it would the only way, but it looks like it died really quickly,
like a lightning strike.
Yeah, like something like that.
Interesting.
So that's what's going on, and I want to make sure.
Right, and like if I think it like, because I've heard that one came out like they were talking about maybe from the sky, a fire from the sky, and then you hear all the like I almost wonder like, what if because they didn't have water inside the thing, right? And what if somebody put just like gasoline or like just like some kind of gas in the pipes or something, because they never had. I mean, they came in from Lanai and just dug a tunnel or something. I mean,
underground.
That's just a total just thinking out loud, just thinking about something. But
somebody sent me something.
Nobody knows
of a manhole burning from the inside,
really?
From underneath. So I don't know.
That's interesting.
I haven't really delved into that, but
at first when I saw it, the first thing I thought, I mean, of course, it's either natural. Well, maybe I thought, oh, somebody messed up and they left the stove on, or made some kind of drugs or homeless kind of thing, burnt the place down. And then the second thing, I thought maybe like a group of like wow, like maybe like some Navy SEALs or something went through the whole place or something, right? And then,
don't know.
But then I don't know, man. It's so sad and everything.
So I want to talk a little bit about. I love that you talked about the action, because we got to stand up, and there are some things that we can do, which I'll share a little bit later. But the Hawaii Nation, like, are you familiar with what's going on with that? Because I know that this is a U.S. occupied territory. So are you familiar with anything going on with Hawaii Nation or anything?
I don't know anything. I mean, I hear different friends and stuff, and I heard them talking about it and talking about different things. But it really is. I do see it growing amongst the people, and the people are looking for a way out, and they're just like, these guys. I mean, you think about all the different things, and like from the election to anything. I mean, really, you cannot, until you make it illegal for the news to announce the winner, and these guys got to do a press conference. Until you make these guys got to do a press conference, then these guys can just say whoever won for as long as they won. And right. And I believe, like, when they say like, oh, look at the mail-in ballots or look at the voting machines, it's like, wait, you're telling me that everybody's looking at that, but this ball is over here now in this guy's hand, and he's the messenger. And even if you did, first of all, you can't even see the judge's scorecard, so you don't know if you won the fight. But that guy, we need to illegalize the news stations from calling the election, and we have to have a press conference and let that guy go up, and because he has all the criminal liability if he says something wrong. So he gives it to these people who have no criminal liability, and they just say whatever they want. I'm not saying I want the election. I'm just saying it is what it is. We got to, but with that way, they will be able to control every single person if there's not a press conference.
That's so true. And here's the thing is that Hawaii, since it was taken over and occupied by the U.S. corporation, it's been a Democrat state. And that's like, there's never been a time where a different party has been the governor.
Yeah.
So it's like, something to think about. And also when you're seeing this man right now with what he's saying around, what to do with the fires, and it's so funny because he's backtracking now and he's saying Lahaina's gonna, we're gonna let the people decide. And that's the other thing I was gonna say, share, is that there's a search and seizure happening there that is violating the Lahaina people's rights. They're actually letting
the people raid everything.
Yeah, strangers go in, sift through the charred stuff, deciding what they should keep and what they shouldn't. And these are strangers. They're not letting people back onto the property. That's
FEMA
against their constitution, against their rights.
I would hope something could be done, like 100 people come down with video cameras. You might not be able to broadcast them because of all these people. And hopefully one guy could get away with a real video camera of what happened, because that's impossible. I mean, just for me, I don't want to, everybody's still in shock in Lahaina. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings in Lahaina. but really by law, it's impossible. It's like a mandate, or that's like a regulation or mandate type thing, like when we were in the coronavirus. Like but on the other side, you don't want to get shot or something that's going on. It's intense, but I guess I would, you know, maybe some of the men can try to go on, give it a try, try to get on their property and go there and make sure their friends back them up and try to keep them safe.
Yeah, that's true. What would you have done differently had this been under your watch?
Jeez, well, of course the whole thing, okay, if I became governor and I was in there, the thing that I would change, like, as quick as possible is I believe it's an easy fix. All you do is go around and take the heads out of all of the departments, because the departments are the hitmen. The departments are the one. If you don't, if you put a big sign and you say, "Oh, I'm not going to listen to the pandemic," then the Department of Health will come. So all of these things, you gotta finish. You gotta take that off. You take the heads off of all of them, and then you walk into the base and you say, "I'm not saying everybody's fired, but you will all have to reapply." And you go through it, and that's the first thing that you do. And from what I hear, I talk to different people, and everything was it wasn't up to par. Everything wasn't up to par where it should have been. And and on the same day when all that was happening, the FEMA had or the emergency management, the state HIMA or whatever, they were in Honolulu at with like their families, and they were somebody set that up in the wrong time.
Everybody was off island. We're talking the fire chief, the emergency guy. I mean, even I think the mayor was off island. I can't remember about that one, but yeah, all of them were gone. All the main people that could support things.
Yep, and there is a lot of coincidences that makes you wonder. I mean, it's tough. Everybody's gonna have their own thoughts, their own ideas about what happened, but the first thing would be, you just gotta listen to the people. Like I always say, like that's from listening, that right there. But you gotta listen, right? You gotta listen to the people. They know what to do. They know how they feel, and you have all those different like playbooks, or like what you're supposed to do. You have it all written out. So you go and choose the best one that's supposed to be done, and you just keep moving forward. And like anything else, everybody's situation is different. It's not going to be a one size fit all, and you just keep trying to work and go and just work with people.
With the people.
Yeah.
Not saying you're going to just take over the land, acquire the land. Like that was the first thing out of his mouth. And I couldn't believe it.
Yep. And when I heard that, like, instead of even looking at like how did the fire go, the first thing into my head was like, okay, there's the ball now. Like it had to have been I think they have to say it, because we have to make the choice. Do you want to keep following that person, or do you not? Right? There's a lot of truth, because life is about free will from God, right? And you're gonna follow the choice. There's no tricking you into where you're gonna end up. You end up because you want to go that way. So I mean, you're gonna keep watching it, right?
That's so true. So I just did another interview with the Captain Matt of Fire Captain Matt, and we just talked about your choice to stay in the system or get out of the system. And the system is what has enslaved us for a very, very long time, has taken over Hawaii, is incorporated, is occupied Hawaii. And so I just want to send a huge aloha and so much love and support and energy to those people in Lahaina, because I can't even imagine what they're going through right now. That's also one reason why I do this stuff. And I just want to say thank you so much. And there's
so much factions, right? Going in. I hear about it all the time, and it just, good luck to everybody, and we always wish you guys the best.
Yes, much aloha, everyone. I'm adding, because we started talking after this, and then BJ, you said something great. What was it?
So you jump in your car, start driving on the road. How many trees can you count before you see one tree with food? And that's not an accident. That's on purpose, because with social classes, then they can push stuff. Then they can push communism. Then they can push all these different things, taxes. They can push all these different things. And we know they're going to drop the money. So we I mean, we can try to fight for, what's crazy is now we're trying to fight for the paper dollar, even though we know how inflatable that is, which is communism and all these things. But the trees with the food is the whole thing. That's why we talk about like Operation Cow Cow, and just everywhere has to have as much trees as with food, as much food as you can, because each one is a food chain. Will bring more pigs, more deer, more cows will come by, just everything. And that's what it is. We need food everywhere. And then somebody's gonna say, well, how much each tree will be worth this much money. It'll be so expensive. It'll be good. And then just think, no, it's priceless, because what is the best money? The money you can eat.
Yeah, and there's so much abundance. Like one tree, I mean, it feeds, it keeps going and going and going. So
and, like, God made these big trees to like fight the king, to like fight the communism, to battle all of these problems that that are here. So it's not an accident that you don't see any of that food. I mean, the state has 1.5 million acres himself. The federal government has 500,000 acres in it. This is all in Hawaii, so it's 2 million acres, 100,000 employees, with over $100 million a year budget, and every job you can think of: state accountant, state lawyer, state doctor, state road work, anything you can think of. But where's the county farmer with the county fruit parks? Where's all these things? But we just gotta know too. You just gotta grow as much food as you can, because the best money is the one you can eat. Just bottom line.
I love that. So action step: get your farm going, get your garden going, find your farmers, make connections, get to know the people in your neighborhood, and just connect, you guys, and stay safe. And much aloha. And check out standtogetherhawaii.com. And where can people find you?
Just BJ Penn. I'll be on and type my name in, and then you'll get me.
And it's got an amazing gym. You want to get in shape?
Oh yeah, yes. And working the body heals the mind, and it's really helpful.
Yep. Awesome. Aloha, everyone.